Hi everyone, welcome back to Kids Church. It is the first Sunday in February, so that means we have a new verse. We also have something new this month is our new missions moment. If you remember a while back, we had a little video added on with one of our missionary families that lives overseas. The month of February, First Baptist Church of Waterford is praying for CareNet Pregnancy Center. So this month when you're praying, I want you to pray for these moms and unborn babies because that's who we're going to be praying for at our church. Okay, so new verse this month. Everybody ready? It's a little bit of a long one, but you got 4 weeks. I know you can do it. So don't forget, you can call me anytime to say your verse, or you can call our secretary, Mrs. Ledestri, at First Baptist Church of Waterford, Connecticut. Okay, here we go. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. John 3, verse 16. We'll say it again. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. John 3, verse 16. Okay. Our story today is called Filled Full, the feeding of the 5,000, and it's taken from Matthew chapter 14, Mark chapter 6, and Luke chapter 9. There were once 5,000 tired and hungry and probably very grumpy people sitting on a hillside wanting their dinner. They had come to hear Jesus that day. They came before breakfast, stayed all morning, all afternoon, and way past dinner. No one had meant to be out there that long, but that's how it was listening to Jesus, as if time didn't exist. People could listen to Jesus for hours, and on this particular day, that's just what they did. But they hadn't brought enough food, and they couldn't just go and buy themselves a burger and fries to go because, of course, they were in the middle of nowhere with no shops or restaurants. Besides, that kind of food wasn't invented yet. What would they do? Jesus' friends had an idea. Let's send everyone home for dinner. All right, here's your first picture. You can see all the people there. They're listening to Jesus, but they're getting hungry. They don't need to go, Jesus said. You can give them something to eat. Did Jesus want them to travel all the way to town and buy food for everyone? Jesus' friends panicked. But we don't have enough money. What food do you have? Jesus asked. Go and see. Now there was a little boy in the crowd. He had brought a lunch that his mother had made for him that morning. He looked at his 5 loaves and 2 fish. It wasn't much, not nearly enough for 5,000, but it was all he had. I have some, he said. Jesus' friends laughed when they saw his little lunch. That's not nearly enough, they said. But they were wrong. Jesus knew it didn't matter how much the little boy had. God would make it enough, more than enough. Jesus said, bring me what you have. And so the little boy gave Jesus his lunch. Jesus winked at the little boy and whispered in his ear, watch. How in the world will Jesus feed everyone with just that? Jesus' friend said, because they thought it was impossible. But Jesus knew the one who made all the fish in the oceans, and Jesus knew the one who in the very beginning had made everything out of nothing at all. How hard would something like this be for someone like that? So you can see there, Jesus holding up those 5 loaves of bread and those 2 little fish from the little boy. Jesus took the little boy's lunch, looked up to heaven, and thanked his Father. Then Jesus gave the little lunch back to his friends. As Jesus' friends started to hand out the food, do you know what? It was the strangest thing. No matter how much they broke off, there was always more. And more. And more. Enough for 5,000. Everyone ate as much as they wanted, second helpings, third helpings, even fourths, until they were full. And still, there were leftovers. Well, Jesus did many miracles like this. Things people thought couldn't happen, that weren't natural, but it was the most natural thing in all the world. It's what God had been doing from the beginning, of course, taking the nothing and making it everything. Taking the emptiness and filling it up. Taking the darkness and making it light. Here's the picture. You can see all those people are eating, and there's still all of those loaves of bread and fish, even though they only started out with 2 fish and 5 loaves. Pretty great story, right? It's fun to hear about all the miracles that Jesus did while he was living on the earth. All right, let's say our new verse one more time. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. John 3, verse 16. I hope you have a great week, and I hope to hear from you soon. Bye-bye.